Hey, what's up, guys? You're tuning into the rerun with Retro Coyote. And how we doing, guys? I'm Retro, and today we're going to go over the awesome time I had at Texas Furry Fiesta 2025, but we're also going to go over some awesome things I learned that'll help you have a better time at your convention, especially if you tend to day trip them like I do. But before we get into that, if you enjoy the content here on this channel, then please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And we're growing our community here. I'd love to have you with us. Also, if you want to support the channel a bit more directly and get this video and others like it early, then check out our Patreon. It's down in the description below, and it's only $1 a month. It gets you access to these videos a little bit earlier, as well as a shout out here in the video. But yes, I went to Texas Furry Fiesta 2025, and I had a wonderful time. And we're going to talk about the day I had and the lessons I learned along the way to have a better time at these conventions. So to start us off, the day before, I was able to take off Friday and this coming Monday, basically to prepare for the convention. To start us off, I went to Kroger's, my grocery store, here the day before to buy snacks to take with me. And that's the first big thing. Bring your own snacks if you're able, because you're going to be paying a markup for the food there. And their options are a bit limited at the concession stands. You know, I've eaten there before, and the food is fine, you know, whatever. But if you bring your own snacks, you're going to save a lot of money. You'll be able to spend more in places like the Artist's Alley and the Dealer's Den. So I myself packed some of those little mini muffin packets, one of those little portable bowls of like canned pasta raviolis, and a thing of vitamin water. Because, you know, obviously the calories, stay hydrated. I shouldn't have to tell you to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Right? You're going to save some money, and you're going to have access to a lot more variety. You basically get what you want instead of having to order off their menu. And, you know, it's just better to have the snacks with you to kind of keep you going throughout the day. Bring your own snacks, save your money, right? That's really tip number one. I got everything ready, and that morning I woke up early. I was up at 6. And, you know, I got ready, I got dressed and everything, and I made it up to the hotel by about 7 a.m. because I wanted to beat the line for registration. If you've ever been to one of these conventions, almost any convention, this isn't unique to the furry conventions, but almost any one of these events, there's a long, long line for registration, and you're sat there waiting for hours. So I thought I was being clever by getting in early, that I was going to beat the lines. And to my credit, I did. But registration didn't open till 10 that morning, and I was here at 7. So though I beat the line, I was still waiting for 3 hours. It did give me time to eat some breakfast and kind of chill out, though. So, you know, that's definitely a good thing. But what I will say on this particular event, this convention here, Furry Fiesta, they have a new system in place for registration, a new computer system that they're using that completely tore through the line. You'll notice at some conventions, the lines kind of serpentine across the room as more people fall in line. That happened at the beginning, but it tore through in minutes. And after that first line, it never, ever got that bad. So big props to the people in charge of that who set that system up. If y'all can keep that system going, the long lines, that particular convention may be a thing of the past. Maybe. I don't want to tempt fate on that one, but, you know. In general, though, it's still a good idea to try to get there a little bit earlier to beat the lines. And that's true of any convention you go to, right? So bring your own snacks, get there early, right? So after I got my badge, after I got registered, I went to the Headless Lounge and I got suited up. It was a slow start to the morning, and I actually saw this table where they were doing some indie games that were in development. And so I'm going to show you that here. It was the Society of Play. Now, these guys are a community of indie devs. They're on Discord. You can definitely check them out. And I got to play a lot of their games that they were working on. Basically, you made the round to the table. They give you a little punch card, and when you fill up your punch card, you get a little prize. Well, I'm going to tell you about some of the games that I played, yeah, we're going to show you how you can check those out. Some of them are out now, so, and I got a lot of swag I'm going to show you here, so it's going to be very cool. So first and foremost, because I picked up cards from all of them, and I have some pictures and video here I'll show you as well. But first and foremost, this one's out already. It's called To-Do-Mon. Basically, it is, it's not a card game. It's an app on your phone you can get. It's called, I dropped the card. To-Do-Mon, right? So it is a productivity app, kinda. It's like a to-do list that they kind of gamify to be like a Pokemon creature battle simulator. And that's amazing. I've played around with it, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm really excited to kind of sit down and actually play it. I don't use productivity apps because I'm usually pretty good at doing what I'm supposed to do. Usually. I'm human. I mess up like the rest of us, so maybe this can help me be a little bit better. But, you know, I'm certainly going to play around with it because it seems like a lot of fun. Another one was the Yarn of Himada. It's a physics-based platformer, very much like the original Sonic the Hedgehog, like classic Sonic games, and like it's momentum-based, loop-de-loops, very fast-paced 2D platformer. Yarn of Himada, very cool stuff. There was also Sniper Runner, which is a multiplayer, I compare it to Bomberman, but that's not entirely accurate. It's like a little shooter where you're running around trying to kill each other. Very fun stuff, you know? And then you have Boss Breaker. Again, it's another multiplayer game that is very cool. It's very simple. You move your fists around and you punch and blast things and try to get the other players. There is one that was really cool. It was called The Devoted. Now, this one is actually a trading card game. And I got to sit down and play it. Of course, the dude who was teaching me how to play wiped the floor with me. I'm terrible at trading card games. But he was able to talk me through it, and I was able to sit down and have a basic idea of how to play within the 5-minute span of him giving me the tutorial. So it's easy to learn, and it seems like a lot of fun if you're into resource management and things like that. Very cool stuff. Now, my favorite of these games was the, where was it? I have it here. I'm going to show you here on the screen. It's like a furry Miiverse kind of thing. Like if you remember building Miis on the Nintendo Wii, and you could run around in a little environment with the other Miis, and to an extent they had some social features. It's like that. So you're seeing it on the screen here. Build little creatures like this guy. I made my Retro Coyote character, and like I said, tons of fun. I had an absolute blast. So I punched all of my cards, I punched my ticket, and eventually I was able to get the prize, which was a little simple little 3D printed keychain here. Yeah, a little bit of swag. It's still really cool. But after that, I was walking around, people started showing up, and there was actually a scientist there. So he's been at these conventions for a couple of years, certainly as long as I've been going to them, right? And he studies subcultures, like the furry community. In fact, he has a particular focus on the furry community. He actually published a lot of different articles here. Here's the card I picked up. There's a QR code. I don't know if that catches on YouTube, but there it is. And I actually did pick up a couple of his articles. He had like printouts, like stacks of them. And his name is Dr. Stephen Ryson, I believe. Let me just double check that information. Yeah, Stephen Ryson, the one who wrote this particular article here. And this one has a variety of authors. Well, this one here by Dr. Ryson is It Just Clicked, Discovering Furry Identity and the Motivations to Participate in the Fandom. The Anthropomorphic Identity, Furry Fandom Members, Connections to Non-Human Animals. And another article here, Seeding the Grassroots of Research on Furries. Lessons learned from 15 years of creative knowledge mobilization, valuing community partnerships, and correcting the record on stigmatized communities with evidence-based scholarship. Very cool. So these are all interesting. They're very dense, as you can tell by how thick they are. And I haven't had time to actually sit down and read through these. But if these are something you're interested in, if you'd like me to go over these with you and maybe help us digest some of the more dense aspects of them, then please let me know, because I'm going to read through these myself, and I'm sure they're really interesting, and I'm sure I'll learn a lot. But if you'd like me to go over these in a YouTube video, let me know, because we can definitely do that, because I find this kind of stuff really fascinating. So I got to hop around and check out all the different things going on, all the different dealers, artists, things like that. I didn't actually go to any panels. There was one I really wanted to go to about preserving history of the furry community, but they kind of pushed that back a little bit farther, and I wasn't able to make it. I usually don't stay too late at these conventions, just because I'm old and I don't like being out late. If you were there at that panel, let me know how it went, because I'm genuinely curious. So I did that, and I got to actually meet some awesome people, some friends, a few of whom I've seen before. I even met my friend Dusk, who is the person I gave Harrington to, my first fursuit. I kind of just bumped into them out of the blue at the convention, which was crazy to see. I walked right past him. It's like, hang on a minute, I know you. You were me. And, it's good to see that they're taking good care of that fursuit, and good to see him out and about at the convention. They were having a great time, having a blast, and it was really cool to kind of see him and hang out with him. I got to meet some awesome other furry people as well, like Finn the Panther, very cool, and Suka Fox, very cool. Some like genuinely awesome people. I love the Finn the Panther. I love his videos. He does really good just going over of different topics in the furry community. So it was cool to see him in person and get a picture with him. But yeah, so like I said, I was there from 7 to 5. I was there quite a while. And by the time I left, it was packed full, wall to wall, floor to floor. There were concerts and panels and all sorts of stuff. And we didn't even get into the after dark stuff going on that I didn't stay for, because that's not really my thing. But it was crowded, densely so, on all 3 of those floors. And it's getting to a point where I'm not sure we'll be able to keep using hotels for these conventions. And I was joking with some friends that we were talking about that at the convention. And I kind of joked and said, maybe we're going to have to start renting out sporting arenas. But maybe that's not as crazy as it sounds. With the general explosion of popularity of these conventions, we may need to examine other solutions to accommodate the large number of people attending. It's great. It's a good problem to have. Absolutely. And I've touched on this a couple times before. But I've never really seen it start to kind of rear its head in terms of just the mass of people. Because anyone who was there on Saturday can tell you it was crazy. I don't know what the final numbers are yet for attendance, but when I got there early at 7, one of the staff was kind of passing me by, and we were making small talk. And I asked him, how many people are here so far? And he told me that on Friday, over 8,000 people showed up on Friday alone. Wow. If I remember correctly, last year was something in the realm of 7,000 some odd. And again, I don't have the final numbers for this convention. I'm trying to get them. But as I film this, it is Sunday, and the convention is likely still going on. Once I found out, I'll put this number here. Whoa, that's a big number, I'm sure. There you go, right? So, yeah, the growth of these conventions is something certainly worth discussing, and other solutions are certainly something worth examining, seriously. Because I actually spoke with another one of the furries in the Headless Lounge. We were just kind of shooting the breeze, hanging out. He is from Georgia. I'll put a picture of him here. And we got to talking. And he said, yeah, with our conventions, we have like one or two of them up in Georgia, where I'm from. And a lot of the times we just buy out a lot of the hotels. And so places like that, like I'm sure Anthrocon has gotten absolutely huge up there in Philly. Texas Furry Fiesta, obviously very big here in Texas. Las Vegas, the biggest little fur con over there in Las Vegas, I don't think they're going to have a problem, honestly, because if there's any place with an overabundance of hotels, it's Las Vegas. So I think they're going to be okay. But just about everywhere else, we're starting to see, I don't want to see us straining against the limits of what's possible, because I have no idea what's possible. But we're getting big enough to where we need to look at other solutions for things like that. But I find it fascinating, and I'm excited to see what comes next in our conventions and everything, and how these things grow over time. So I'm super excited. Again, I had a blast at Texas Furry Fiesta. Obviously, pace yourself. I was fursuiting, obviously, for a lot of the time, but I did take several breaks at the Headless Lounge. They have like things like fans and water in there and towels. Take breaks frequently, all right? If you've been running around in this for like an hour or two at a time, take like 5, 10, 15-minute breaks, all right? Because it's not so much that this is hot. It is, but it's also heavy and physically exhausting. If you've never worn a fursuit before, let me explain this to you. Wearing a fursuit, you're not just wearing the costume. You are, and it's a lot. It's a lot of fur, obviously, and upholstery foam and glue and stuff, right? Also, when you're in that, all of that has weight. It's not a lot, and it's evenly distributed throughout your body, but it is heavy. It is added weight. And when you're in the suit, you emote with your entire body. Again, wearing the suit is a performance act almost. You have to emote, because this has no expression. You can't tell what this idiot's thinking. There's not a thought in his head, right? So if you're happy, you have to be like, yeah. If you're sad, you have to be like, oh. If you're angry, you have to stomp around, be grumpy, right? You have to emote with your whole body. And you have to be extra vigilant about where you are, because you have very limited visibility here in the suit, in the head. So if you have a handler, use them. If not, be careful. Be aware of your surroundings, and take your time, especially on escalators, as that can get kind of trippy, especially if you're wearing the big feet paws like I have. And, you can kind of be unsure of your footing at times. So keep an eye out, be aware of your surroundings, and be careful, right? Seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how clumsy people can be sometimes. Hopefully, what I've given you, you'll be able to take some of these tips and use them to have a better time at your conventions. Whether you're going to a furry convention, an anime convention, a Ren fair, whatever. Use this to have a good time. But if you were there at Texas Furry Fiesta, if you said hi to me, let me know in the comments. If you missed me, or if you saw me, or if you just want to tell me about the time you had, let me hear your convention story down in the comments below. And again, hey, if you enjoy the content here on this channel, then make sure to like and subscribe. We're growing our community here all the time, and I'd love to have you with us. That being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time at Texas Furry Fiesta, and I'm going to be going this year to Texas Furry Siesta, and I'm applying to host a panel on content creation. So we'll see how well that goes, and I'll get back to you on that. Also, let me know if you want me to go over these scientific papers on subcultures and furries and stuff like that. Let me know about that if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.